All right, welcome to Giants Sports Talk Live morning edition this Tuesday morning. Glenn, yesterday, no Giants baseball.
Let's see right there.
Look. Yep, yeah, mornings suck.
I hate breaks. The sun's not even up here on the West Coast yet in my zone. Oh my goodness. Tired today. I am exhausted. How are you feeling today? You look wide awake.
Okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. No Giants baseball, but we did have a lot of Giants talk last night on the show, specifically talking, the news coming out where it's being reported Buster Posey was the one that was heading up the Chapman extension. Is he supplanting Farhan? Is there going to be moves where Farhan is no longer part of the Giants? So we got into that. And of course, a lot of Juan Soto talk, of course, last night.
Eric, this organization has got a little bit in it. They always go back to, they're a very historic team.
Yes, it is. Correct.
All right. Let's bring Pablo Sandoval, a little overweight at third base. He's breaking belts in Boston, but come on back and you can sign with us. That kind of situation.
Correct.
I don't think anybody's asked this question. Could you see Buster Posey named a general manager?
I don't know. Does he wear a dual hat as an owner and as a GM? Or, and I mentioned this on the show last night, is he's wearing the hat as an owner, but he's just taking, quote unquote, the bull by the horns because they want to get something done. So they basically preempted Farhan and then was able to get this done. Is this something that's going to be the norm the rest of the way out? I don't know. Or are they going to replace him? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's a good question. Because
Buster the tweets, the information, when everything came out over the last 36 hours or so, when the tweets and the media started covering this thing, the general census, and I think there might have even been a quote in one of them, the management, ownership were getting a little, I don't want to misquote, but getting a little, upset with Farhan, and they had Buster spearhead this.
And what's funny? This dovetails exactly into John Shea's article that he wrote a week prior, talking about how ownership has decided to make Buster Posey the lead in any major decisional moves with the organization. So, lo and behold, a week later, Andrew Baggerly writes a piece saying, hey, Buster Posey was the one that got this deal done with Chapman. So everything is starting to line up, right? You had the Chapman extension, you had the John Shea article, now we have the Baggerly article. And I said this a bunch of times, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I'm thinking that there's something is going to happen in this offseason.
Well, you know what? If I'm Farhan, obviously, I'm starting to get a little ticked off, right? I'm starting to look over my shoulder, like, what the hell's going on? It's my job. But a little dose of reality, because what do you think Bob Melvin's been doing, looking up at the big perch?
Right.
Who's calling the shots here on my
roster? And look, this isn't only after the last couple of seasons. This has been going on for the last 6 seasons. So he's had plenty of rope. And guess what?
Yeah.
It's about, you got to produce. And if you don't produce, guess what, man? You're going to be on your way out. Maybe that's what we're coming to.
Slippery slope.
Yes.
To you know where. All right, what we got going to Major League Baseball today? Of course, the early game starts at 3:35 in the Bay Area, which is...
And which game is that?
One of the things I never get used to about Pacific Zone coverage, but you got San Francisco at Baltimore, and it's going to be a great pitching matchup there. Going to be a good game with Snell going for the Giants.
And Albert Suarez right there for the Baltimore Orioles. Suarez, I think you mentioned it last night. He's got a 3.3 ERA.
Suarez, he enters the game at 8-5, 3.39 ERA. Blake Snell, 3-3, 3.52. Pretty evenly matched. Snell's really getting into the gate now, and the season's almost over.
Yeah, I know. What his last outing? Yeah, I guess his last outing okay? I can't remember. They're all blending together. I think you talked about the other day. I think he was okay. He was okay
in the last one. The one prior, he lasted
an inning.
Of an inning.
Yeah, he was an opener. Exactly. Well, again, they're playing against the team that is trying to stay in that wild card hunt. They're pretty comfortable. but maybe they want to win the division.
Yeah.
So this is a good team for Baltimore to go up against because San Francisco is not playing good ball right now.
New York Mets have a one-game lead in the wild card race again. This is a topsy-turvy world we live in as the postseason approaches. Now, the Mets are going to be at home, but they lead Atlanta by a game. And, Eric, what do we got going on today featuring Atlanta?
Yeah, in Cincinnati, you got the Braves facing off against the Reds, 3:40 p.m. Pacific. Got Grant Holmes going for the Braves and Brandon Williamson going for the Cincinnati Reds. Again, Atlanta, if they want to get, they got to beat these teams. They got to beat teams like Cincinnati if they want to secure that wild card spot. Again, as you stated, we'll talk a little bit more on the standings. They're one game behind the Mets. So they got to get some work done against teams like the Reds. We'll see what happens.
Where the Dodgers playing today?
Miami.
At Lone Depot Park. Dodgers up against the Marlins today. The Dodgers, no trouble playing ball this year at 89-61, but it's always a little thrilling when they throw Bobby Miller out there on the hill. He's 2-4, and his ERA, venture a guess, Eric? Do you remember? I remember
it was up there.
You weren't even close last week, and he was in the sevens. Well, now his ERA is 8.17. He's up against Miami's Darren McConnell, a right-hander, no record to speak of, but he has gotten some innings because he has an ERA of over 7. That one features the Dodgers, Miami. You know what? It's getting pretty tight, Eric. We'll take a look at the standings in a minute, and we've predominantly been watching the Mets and the Atlanta Braves. All of a sudden, it's a bit of a race for the top spot in the National League Western Division. Look out for the Padres.
Padres are making a run. We'll see what happens. And it's funny because the last series of the season for the Dodgers and the Padres, they're facing against each other. That could have some serious implication on who wins the NOS. That's again, I love this time of the year because you get to see stories like this.
Every year, Eric, doesn't it? For the most part, every year you look at the schedule and you don't think much of it. Oh, yeah, look at those series. We close out against the Cardinals. Well, you look around Major League Baseball and look at how many great weekend series will close the 24 season. Like, it could be do or die on a Sunday afternoon for some of these clubs.
Yep, absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Now in Cleveland, got the Minnesota Twins going against the Guardians. Zebby Matthews taking the ball for the Twins. And taking a mound for the Guardians is going to be Gavin Williams. Again, these two teams, Minnesota specifically, they're trying to stay in that wild card hunt. Guardians are pretty safe in their playoff bid. They'll probably win the AL Central. But Minnesota, they're holding on. We'll take a look at the standings, like I said, after we go through the games here.
Yeah.
So it should be a good game. Again, Minnesota's got to play some good ball right now.
Elsewhere on the Tuesday schedule, you got Boston, Nick Pivetta up against Tampa Bay's Shane Baz. Pivetta's 5-10, Baz 2-3. The game at Tropicana Field. Now to a big one, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. And in New York, your favorite place, Flushing. You got the Nationals going against the Mets. Again, this is going to be easy for the Mets right now. This is the teams you got to beat. Yep. If you want to stay in that wild card hunt, you got Mitchell Parker going for the Nationals, Tyler McGill going for the Mets. That will start at 4:10 p.m. Pacific. I asked the chat, and I didn't see it last night, Glenn. What is the status on Francisco Lindor? Because I know he took himself out of the game 2 games ago. So I'm wondering if there's any status on what's going on with him.
I have an update on that.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly is going on.
Talk about the post game tonight. We'll
sounds good.
I'm sure we can find something, but I haven't seen anything online.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I've got my ear to the rail. I haven't heard boo about it.
Oh, here we go. Detroit, Glenn, get into this one.
Oh yeah, you got. It's funny. It's funny. I didn't get in on your show last night, and I went back and watched your episode of Giant Sports Talk Live. Kind of keep my ear to the rail, know what's going on. You did a great show as usual.
Thank you.
It's funny. I said at the end, my God, it's a good thing they didn't trade their ace pitcher. And you would have said, I said that. You actually did. We almost quoted each other. And I'll tell you what, where did the Detroit Tigers come from? They're taking on Kansas City. It's always a great day for a ball game in Kansas City. And Detroit says, yeah, even better if we win. So they'll throw Casey Mize. Somebody stop texting me. Casey Mize is on the hill today, 2-6. up against Cole Reagan's 11-9. Got a shot my phone for Kansas City. I got like 9. Can you hear it? I got like 12 texts.
Yeah, I hear it. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Hey, Glenn, are you there? Yep. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, stop it.
But that's going to be a good game. Again,
Yeah,
Detroit is right there. They are right there in the thick of it and trying to get into that wild card. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. A's at Chicago. Got the Oakland A's. Mitch Spinch going for the A's. Chicago Cubs throwing out Jordan Wicks. No, I don't think. Well, A's definitely not. In Chicago, I think if not mistaken, they're like 5 games out of the third wild card. It's kind of, they're just going through the motions.
Philly at Milwaukee, I'm not really interested, but it's going to be a game on TBS if you want to catch some early evening ball. Zach Wheeler, Frankie Montas, both teams are actually going to be headed to the postseason, so this is kind of a good warm-up. We've been seeing a lot of games lately too, Eric, between teams that are fighting for the playoff lives, real good ball clubs, both of these, Phillies, Brewers, and you're getting to see almost playoff baseball down the stretch, which I really enjoy. And that one goes today at 4:40 p.m. in the Bay Area. You can catch it on TBS. The Giants, though, Eric, the Giants are looking over their shoulder. They're 10 games out in the wild card. Who's sitting just a game behind them?
Yeah, Pittsburgh. It's going to be, We'll see if Pittsburgh can surpass the Giants. The Giants lose and Pittsburgh wins tomorrow. Yeah, that could I
think that could be the dagger for Farhan. If you fall at the end of the year, if you're sitting behind Pittsburgh,
you're sitting behind Cincinnati. That should be enough, right? Come on.
It's a damn good thing Chicago's not playing in our division, right? The White Sox.
Oh, I know, right? Pittsburgh Pirates going up against St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. You got Bailey Falter going for the Pirates. Lance Lynn going for the Cardinals for a series that determines absolutely nothing.
You know what? Even the teams that are holding their, and you'll look at it in just a second, but the teams that are holding their own right now, this week, entering action on this Tuesday in the wild card, I mean, things can change almost overnight. Now, I've been thinking, Arizona will be, Arizona is on the cusp of not even making the playoffs with a couple of
they've hit a rough patch, man. They got beat up by the Brewers, and now Colorado last night beat them. So Arizona's not in a good spot right now.
Well, if they can right the ship, it'll be tonight. Jordan Montgomery up against Ryan Feltner. They're taking on the Rockies. That is the cure that ails you. Take on Colorado. If you lose to Colorado, you don't deserve to be in the postseason.
Yeah, I hear you. And look at that. The schedule's getting so bad, you looked right over the Toronto Blue Jays facing off against the Texas Rangers.
I got excited about the Arizona game.
That's fine. That's good. I mean, hell, I would have passed over that one too.
All right, you want me to cover it? Bassett, Evaldi, Blue Jays, Texas tonight, 5:05. Back to you, Eric.
And here's another one. And we could do the same treatment. Chicago White Sox against the Los Angeles Angels tonight, 6:30 p.m. Davis Martin versus Griffin Canning.
It's not as funny as that. I don't know if any of the guys or gals up in the audience remember. We did a show about a month ago, and that's how it was an evening broadcast to Giant Sports Talk Live. Eric goes, Chicago to LA. And I'm like, whoa, I don't even have my next game ready. You're like, I don't want to talk about it. All right, we got Houston at San Diego. Boy, this is what it's all about.
Padres are playing
a wild card race. Houston, San Diego. Where True TV? Isn't that like
what the hell's True TV
network?
Isn't that like Murder Mysteries or something?
Yeah.
What?
The world's going to hell in a handbasket.
True TV. Maybe someone's getting murdered. I don't know.
Houston, San Diego, Hunter Brown, Michael King gets underway 6:40. I'm going to have to check out True TV today. I'll give you an update on what the heck's on their playbill today and what you might have. CSI Miami, Headhunters America,
Houston versus San Diego.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Then in Seattle, you've got Lewis Gill going for the New York Yankees, and for the Seattle Mariners, it's Brian Wu. And you can be able to catch that game on ESPN Plus, which is a station that plays sports.
Oh, no CSI on that network?
No CSI. No.
Okay. Although ESPN, it's a little, they might have a crime scene over there. Look, everybody's getting axed over there. They don't have much, everybody's getting fired at ESPN lately.
Here, before we go to the wild card, let's look at what's going on.
Yeah, let's look at the West.
Look at that. Only 3.5 games behind the Padres.
There's still, you know what? I don't want to, 3.5. It's a big margin to cover.
You got to remember, they faced the last series, the last 3 games. They go against they're head to head. So all the Padres got to do is
if you can stay within, they can pull within 2, then it's on the line.
They can do it. We'll see. Should be exciting.
Arizona's out of that race, but Arizona much life in the wild card race.
But here's what I was talking about the Detroit Tigers, Glenn. Look at that. Only a game and a half out of the 3rd wild card. That's why Minnesota's got to win.
Who would have thunk it? If you asked me a man on the street interview, what do you think of the Detroit Tigers? You say, they suck.
Look at this, though.
Like,
look how all this is lining up.
78 wins. What happened to the Detroit Tigers this year that I'm missing? You
see how all this is lining up?
Wow.
All the reds are down below. All the greens are up above. Talking about run differential. Yeah, how about that? And let's look at down here. Look at this. This is starting to do the same. All the reds are down below. All the greens are up above, except for the Cardinals. That a little bit of an aberration. Yeah. But then you go, Padres sitting in that first wild card, and the Diamondbacks, like you said, they're kind of, look at that. They've lost 1, but in their last 10, 4-6.
There are only a couple of games that are falling out of the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly, because look at this. You got the Mets and the Braves right there breathing down their necks for that second wild card.
Feels like postseason baseball already.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? And like I said, Cubs are over here. Here you go. This is what you were talking about. Giants 10, Pirates 11.
Yeah, 1 game in the loss column differential. Man alive.
It's not pretty, Glenn. It's not pretty.
No, not at all. But even though when it smells like a dead fish, we still show up and we talk about it. We'll be back tonight. Giant Sports Talk Live. And I believe that's an early game, so we'll be on the air at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, our normal time, so that'll be nice. Of course,
get a chance to listen to. I know it was a late. Man, I was up late. Did you catch on our sister network, Northern California Sports and Entertainment, late night sports?
Yeah,
talk.
How about that? Good stuff, man.
Bringing out musical menageries and chat. Oh, it was a whole lot of fun.
Exactly, and then of course that was the 4th show of that day. How about that?
Yeah, busy day. Later on this week, I'm back. Today will be an off day for Shark Fight, talking San Jose Sharks. We're going to ramp that up a daily show once the season starts. What do we got coming up this week? We got our fantasy football show, WNBA show, NBA show. Oh my goodness, we got so much on the plate, man. It's a busy time of the year, though.
It is. As baseball starts winding down for regular season, hockey and basketball starts kicking into gear. Yep, and of course football. Can't forget football.
Tomorrow for National Hockey League teams, it's media day. They get to talk to all the players, and coaches, get that out of the way. Camps break on Thursday, preseason game Saturday. So hockey's just around the corner.
There you go.
But we got a fun. And it's not fun talking about the Giants lately. Sorry, I'm the bearer of that bad news. But if you haven't accepted it yet, just accept it. But we'll talk about all these wildcard races and a whole lot of other stuff coming up in the show tonight. We'll be with you at 8, Giant Sports Talk Live.
Yep. See you tonight, Glenn. And see the rest of you guys tonight at 8 o'clock.
See ya.